I wanted to see what the Xbox Fullscreen Experience was like on the Lenovo Legion Go, and while I was able to get it installed, I definitely learned a lot during the process. I was really worried I might mess up my current Windows install. Instead of risking it, I swapped in a spare SSD I had lying around. That way, if something went wrong, I could just switch back. I used one of my older laptops to download the Windows 11 ISO. I went to the Windows Insider Preview download page. Now, if you plan on doing this yourself, you should really keep in mind this important disclaimer that unexpected PC crashes could damage or even delete your files. Build number 26200 contains the Xbox full screen mode. I found two options: Windows 11 Insider Preview Release Preview channel and Windows Insider Preview Dev channel. I chose the Release Preview channel, which looking back was a mistake. I'll explain why later in the video. Next, I used Rufus to burn the ISO onto a thumb drive. I connected the drive, powered it on, and the install process immediately started. At the screen where it asked for the install location, I selected the 1TB SSD. It gave me an error at first, but I deleted the partition and then it let me continue. During the setup, it asked me to connect to Wi-Fi, but since I didn't have the drivers, I had to pause, go back to my laptop, download the drivers from Lenovo's support page, extract them to a USB, and then install them. And then I could move forward with the installation. Once Windows was up and running, I went into Settings and under Gaming, I searched for the Xbox full screen option, but it wasn't there. So I went online and grabbed Vive Tool. I used the version labeled Intel AMD. From the Downloads folder, I extracted it and then opened the command prompt as an administrator. In the command prompt, I opened the Vive Tool folder. I typed the following command. I then followed it up with this one. I forgot to capitalize the V in Vive Tool. Luckily, it still worked. It's not cap specific. After that, I went into the registry editor and I used this path in order to get to the OEM folder. Here, I right-clicked on an empty space. I created a new folder under DWORD 32-bit value and I named it Device Form. For value data, I entered 2E under the base hexadecimal. I restarted the Legion Go. When I returned to Windows settings, the option for Xbox full screen was there. Under Choose Home App, I selected Xbox and I turned on Enter Full Screen Experience on startup. I restarted the Legion Go and sure enough, Xbox full screen launched. But then I found one major problem. None of the Legion Go controls worked. And when I swiped up from the bottom to get into desktop mode, I pressed on Windows Desktop, but it didn't do anything. So I went back to Lenovo's support page, downloaded all the recommended drivers, and installed them. I also installed Legion Space, but unfortunately, it didn't fix the problem. Eventually, I went back into Settings to Gaming and switched my Insider channel from Beta to Dev. After restarting, things changed. Now on the pin entry screen, I was able to use the Legion Go's controls to enter my pin. The Legion Go then booted straight into Xbox full screen, and this time all of the controls worked. Swiping left brought up the Xbox quick settings. Swiping from the right showed notifications. Swiping up from the bottom gave me the option to switch between screens, and now, when I wanted to go into desktop mode, it worked. I was also able to use my controllers to navigate throughout the Xbox interface. I wanted to see if the controllers would work when playing games from different launchers. So I tried a few games. From the Xbox app, I downloaded and played Call of Duty Modern Warfare. On the Epic Games launcher, I tested Fortnite. And on Steam, I played Marvel Rivals. The Legion Go controllers worked across every game I tested, no matter which launcher it came from. I also tried using the controllers in FPS mode, detached from the Legion Go. They kept working without any issues. And when they were detached, I was able to use the touchscreen to navigate through the Xbox functions. And the Xbox full screen mode allowed me to keep each launcher open and switch in between them. I found I could use the joystick to navigate between launchers, and I could use the X button to close a launcher. I was able to launch games directly from the Xbox dashboard. For example, here I started Borderlands 4. It pulled up my Steam library and then launched the game without me having to touch anything else. While in-game, I could also access Xbox quick settings. Here I paused Borderlands, swiped from the left side, and the quick settings popped up. But not everything worked though. I couldn't get Xbox Performance Monitor to activate, but I was able to start screen recording. Here's a quick clip I captured of Borderlands 4 running on the Legion Go. But again, not everything was consistent. For example, while I was playing a game, swiping from the left didn't always work. but considering this is still in development, I really like that this feature is going to be available. In the meantime, I was still able to access the Legion Space's quick settings. I wanted to see if using the Xbox full-screen version of Windows would have any effect on how games performed, so I ran the in-game benchmark tools for Cyberpunk 2077, Black Myth Wukong, and Doom: The Dark Ages. For all these tests, my Legion Go was set to Performance mode, Fan mode was set to Smart, and the OS Power mode was also set to Performance. Display resolution was set to 1280 by 800, and the refresh rate was set to 60 Hz, and all benchmarks were run on battery power. For Cyberpunk 2077, I used a custom preset with AMD Super Resolution 2.1 set to Performance and most other settings on low. On my Legion Go with Xbox Fullscreen, I averaged about 63 frames per second. On standard Windows, it was about 59. For Black Myth Wukong, I set Super Resolution to FSR with frame generation on and most other settings on low. With Xbox Fullscreen, the Legion Go scored about 97 FPS. On standard Windows, it scored 87. And finally, Doom: The Dark Ages. With Xbox Fullscreen, I averaged about 67 FPS. On standard Windows, it averaged 64. Looking across all three benchmarks, Xbox Fullscreen came out slightly ahead each time. The difference wasn't massive, but it was actually a little bit better. Now that I have everything set up, I just wanted to share some of the things I liked and didn't like about the Xbox Fullscreen experience. This update made the Legion Go feel like it had a real Xbox handheld dashboard. I liked that I could easily switch between game launchers, and I did see some small performance gains. In terms of what I didn't like, the Windows install process still felt way too long and clunky, with too many screens asking me about things I really didn't care about as a gamer. I also noticed that when I pressed the power button while playing Call of Duty, the Legion Go didn't fully go into hibernate. I could still hear the game running in the background. It dropped me into the Windows lock screen, but I didn't have to log back in. I just swiped up and it took me straight back to the game. It's convenient in a way, but it's definitely not a proper sleep mode yet. But other than that, there were just some refinements that need to be made. But I think Microsoft will eventually fix them over time. So I didn't get exactly what I wanted, which is pretty much a handheld that feels like an Xbox. But this feels like a huge step in the right direction. It's not there yet, but it's closer than it's ever been. If you like this video, you'll definitely like the video coming on screen right now. I'll see you in the next one.